What's going on, everybody? It's Raza here. I want to take on a really giant topic right now. I'm not sure why I'm really doing that, but hopefully I can do justice to it. And really, I want to talk about why people hesitate and why they don't succeed at the thing that they want to succeed at. Hope that makes sense. So let's talk about that. Real question is this: as a business, as an investor, as someone whose success lies in getting in front of the right people who will do business with us, how do we break through obscurity? How do we break through the noise? How do we showcase our message, our opportunities, and our offers in front of the right people? That is the question, and this show has the answer. My name is Raza Aziz. Welcome to The Bold Entrepreneur. So here's the thing, and again, a lot of the content that I bring in, a lot of the conversation that I bring here to my channel here, whatever platform you're watching this at, is really stemmed out of my conversations with people. And this was something that I had a conversation with one of my brothers about, and that's what brought about this. And then I was watching some video on YouTube, and then came across a book, and then you know read an article, and that's what this conversation is really going to be. So have patience with me as I dive into this, because it's a bit controversial, and a bit it's a more of a shift in mindset. And why I'm creating this video is because, or talking about this, is really because a lot of the people who follow me, or that I work with, are change makers, people who are looking to do big things. Now, when they are looking to do big things, and when us humans, we do big things, a lot of times we hesitate. A lot of the times we don't, we succumb to our fears and our imposter syndrome. How do we go about doing that? Now, how do we go about tackling that? That's what I really want to talk about here. So, uh, so let's talk about this. I want to start this conversation with the idea on, most of the people that I have conversation with, a lot of the people, a lot of new entrepreneurs, a lot of existing entrepreneurs, when they have dived into something, one of the biggest things is they feel like, I am so into it right now. I have spent so much time into it that I have to see it to fruition. Now, that's a great attitude to have. It is a great attitude. When you start something, you got to finish, right? Like we've heard of that. What I've noticed about, the things that I've gone through in the past, and I'm not really sure where this thinking came about from, but I really don't mind going and starting something, and as I get to a point where I've learned about the thing that I've started or I'm doing, that I don't have, because now that I've learned about it, I don't have any issue or any challenge with saying, you know what, if this is what it is, and I look at it this way, I look at it this way, I'm like, this is not for me. I'm actually going to move it aside. I'm not going to do it anymore. And this very piece right now, what I've just talked to you about, a lot of people are scared of doing this thing. And they're like, you know what? I need to stick to it, and I need to stay consistent at it. And I need to, like, make it or break it kind of thing. I've got to get this thing done no matter what. And they stay at it for months and year after year. And decades later, they're still in that same spot. And this is where what I'm about to what I'm sharing with you, it is something that I apply in my life and in my ventures over the past like 12, 14 years. This is the thing that I've done. And I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. So one of the things that I did a long time ago is I was building a network marketing business many many moons ago. And the way I had been taught about building that business at that time, I built it. I went all in, and my goal whenever I do something new is always to break even. And once I have broken even with the investment that I put into it, into that venture, then I decide at that time whether or not I want to continue it. Anyways, I did the break even part and built an organization, and it was, it was on 4 continents, and build a good income and all of that stuff. And it came to a point where I looked at it and I'm like, if this is how this particular business is built, if this is the amount of time that I need to put in, if this is the amount of lifestyle that I had at that time, that's what I need to do, then this is not for me. And I looked at, the different aspects of things, and I looked at, I spoke to different people about it, and all of that stuff. I really didn't get to a point where I'm like, I don't know if I want to continue to do this. And within like a 3 to 4 week period, I decided that, this is not for me based on a lot of factors that did not match my values, match my beliefs. Now, I would not know about that particular thing until I step into it. And that's one of the things that I always say to people is like most people get into things, and I want you to hear me very carefully here. Most of the time when people get into things, they always get into it because that is, hey, I'm going to do this as a plan B. And if it doesn't work out, I'll lean back on plan A kind of thing. Right. And that is one of the things that I've noticed, that although I have used that language, but as I was talking to my brother recently, I realized that when I start something, I give myself 90 to 120 days to go all into it. Like it is a plan A, and I'm all in. And as I get into it with that attitude, that I learned things in it that I would not have learned when I'm sitting outside of that venture, right? And I find that a lot of people, when they put their money and time and energy into something, and given you have to give it your 100%, and you have to give it for a certain period of time. And if as you go into it, you find out that, hey, this is not what it seemed to be, or this is, as I'm learning about it, this is not the kind of thing that I want to get into. As long as you've broken even, first of all, if you've broken even, that's great. Even if you have not, give yourself a time frame that, hey, listen, you know what? At some point, I'm going to call my losses and I'm going to move on. And this is where there's a big population that doesn't agree with me on this one. But I have noticed people lose out on opportunities just because they are stuck in one vehicle or one arena that is not serving them over a long period of time. And they're doing all kinds of things around it to be able to create success, but they're not having that level of success. Okay, is this making any sense? Right? And at some point, you have to call your losses and you have to move on, because ultimately, there there's no experience, or there's no experience that is wasted experience. And I think that's where sometimes even I have to remind myself of it, that anything that I have gotten into, any venture that I've taken on, any task that I've taken on, there it has not been a wasted experience, because I am a product of all of the experiences that I've had in life. And I may not have, let's just say I start a business and I did not get the kind of results that I was expecting, and I feel like I have given my 100% on it. And if that is the case, and I push myself and I really arrived at a point that I really don't know what else to do here, then it may be time to take my lessons from there and move forward into taking the learning experience and applying it elsewhere. And I kid you not, I have seen people who have achieved success by going down this route. Just because you are not successful at one thing does not mean that you cannot be successful at anything. My message to you really is to rise above whatever it is that you're doing. Know that you have inside of you the ability to succeed. And if it's not in this vehicle, it may be another vehicle. I have seen people who are successful at, running an offline business, for example, but they're not successful online. Does that mean that they don't have it in them to be successful? No. I have seen people who are successful online, in a digital entrepreneur venture or something like that, but they don't, they are not excelling in real estate investment. Does that mean that they cannot succeed? No, they can succeed, but their experiences allow them to succeed in different arenas. But you have to be able to go all in to a venture, to whatever it is that you're doing, and make it a plan A for yourself. At any given time, I kid you not, I mean, I could have multiple plan A's in place. It's not that if I don't succeed at this, at least I have this. That conversation doesn't exist in my head. And I think this is where you want to start pondering and do some thinking around it, for yourself. Take it with a grain of salt, whatever I'm saying. And if you have any questions on this, let's have a conversation. Let's talk about this, because there's it's when you stay stuck in a vehicle that is not serving you, it is impacting your well-being, it is impacting your relationships, it is impacting your relationship with yourself, and I'm sure it's impacting your finances, right? And I'll give you an example. I mean, that is the same example we use when we're talking about, for example, if you're in a job that is not fulfilling, it is impacting you mentally, right? It is impacting you financially. You're not growing from there. It's impacting your relationship at home. You're not there because you're so drained being in this job. Well, it's the same thing in a business. If you are doing a business and you're not getting the kind of results from it, well, it is another heavy thing on you, right? It is breaking the relationship with yourself. Your conversation in your head is not that of empowerment anymore. And I think at all cost, you have to protect your mind, and you have to build a level of confidence and resilience in yourself that, hey, you will achieve the ultimate outcome. This vehicle may not be the right vehicle. You get it? And in my experience over the past 10 years, there are multiple different vehicles, right? Whether you want to have an online business, offline business, real estate investment, you want to become a self-employed professional, you want to be a realtor, you want to be a mortgage broker, you want to run an Amazon business, you want to run an e-commerce business, you want to run Shopify, you want to have a store, you want to buy businesses. It doesn't matter what you do. There's successes in all of those arenas, and there are failures in all of those arenas. Do you agree with me? Right? There are people that I can line up that have succeeded in all of those things. There are people that I can line up who have failed at a lot of those things. It doesn't necessarily mean that the vehicles are wrong. It just means that that is not a vehicle for you. I hope that makes sense. Hopefully, I'm trying to articulate this really cumbersome topic, and I could say it. I feel like I have not done justice to it, but does this make sense? Mention to me. Let me know in the comments, and I'd love to engage in a conversation with you and see where we go. Okay. My ultimate message is y- I want you to win and experience the opportunity to win. Because the more you stay stuck in the vehicles, whether it's your job, it's a business, an investment, or whatever it is, the more you stay stuck in there where you're not fulfilled, you're not getting the results that you want, you feel like you have done everything that you can possibly do in there, and you're not getting the results. You are breaking a relationship with you. Your confidence is breaking down. Your mental capacities are breaking down. You're getting tired, and in that state, you can't accomplish anything. So my commitment to my message to you is really have an attitude that, you know what, you're gonna go all in and you're gonna do the thing that you are, whatever it is that you're doing. You're gonna do it. You're gonna get results. And whatever results you get, once you have gotten to that, time frame, whether you're giving yourself 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, a year, whatever, but you evaluate yourself and say that, you know what, this is this, and look at it that way, and then make your decisions. And if that means that you're going to give yourself another 6 months to do that thing in a different way, sure, go ahead, do it, but progress. And if that means that you're going to cut your losses and you say, you know what, I'm going to take my learnings from here and I'm going to go and apply it elsewhere, then do that instead of staying stuck where you are. That's all my message is. I'll see you around. I look forward to your comments and we'll continue the conversation there. Bye.